Namaskar, Jai Shri Krishna. Enlightening, text 11, text 12 and text 13, 16 of chapter 6.Purusa-Sukta confirmed of second canto, the cosmic manifestation of Srimad Bhagavatam. Text 11. Avyakta rasa sindhunam bhutanam nidhanasya cha udaram viditam pumso hridayam manasah padam. The impersonal feature of the Lord is the abode of great oceans, and his belly is the resting place for the materially annihilated living entities. His heart is the abode of the subtle material bodies of living beings. Thus, it is known by the intelligent class of men. In the Bhagavad Gita 8.17-18, it is stated that according to human calculations, one day of Brahma is equal to 1000 ages of 4 millenniums, 43 lakh years each, and the same period is calculated to be his night also. A Brahma lives for 100 such years and then dies. A Brahma who is generally a great devotee of the Lord attains liberation after such a downfall. The universe called the Brahmanda, or the round football-like domain controlled by a Brahma, is thus annihilated, and thus the inhabitants of a particular planet or of the whole universe are also annihilated. Avyakta mentioned here in this verse means the night of Brahma, when partial annihilation takes place and the living entities of that particular Brahmanda up to the planets of Brahmalok, along with the big oceans, etc., all repose in the belly of the Virata Purusha. At the end of a Brahma's night, the creation again takes place and the living entities reserved within the belly of the Lord are let loose to play their respective parts as if being awakened from the deep slumber. Since the living entities are never destroyed, the annihilation of the material world does not annihilate the existence of the living entities, but until liberation is attained, one has to accept one material body after another again and again. The human life is meant for making a solution to this repeated change of bodies, and thereby attaining a place in the spiritual sky where everything is eternal, blissful and full of knowledge. In other words, the subtle forms of the living entities take place in the heart of the Supreme Being, and such forms take tangible shape at the time of creation. Text 12. Dharmasya mama tubhyam cha kumaranam bhavasya cha vijnanasya cha sattvasya parasyatma parayanam. Also, the consciousness of that great personality is the abode of religious principles, mine, yours, and those of the four bachelors, Sanatana, Sanat Kumar, and Sanandan. That consciousness is also the abode of truth and transcendental knowledge. Text 13-16. Aham bhavan bhavashachaiva ta ime munayo agrajaha surasura nara nagaha khaga mrugasari srupaha गंधर्वा सरसो यक्षा रक्षो भूत गणोर्गाः पशवः पितरः सिद्धा विद्याधराश् चारणा द्रुमः अन्ये च विविधा जीवा जलस्थलन भौक्सः ग्रहर्क्ष केतवस तारास्तडितः स्तनगित नवः सर्वं पुरुष एवेदं भूतं भव्यं भवच्च यत तेनेदामृतं विश्वं वित्स्तिं भितिष्ठति. Beginning from me, Brahma, down to you and Bhava Shiv, all the great sages who were born before you, the demigods, the demons, the nagas, the human beings, the birds, the beasts, as well as the reptiles, etc., and all phenomenal manifestations of the universes, namely the planets, stars, asteroids, luminaries, lightning, thunder, and the inhabitants of the different planetary systems, namely the Gandharvas, Apsaras, Yakshas, Rakshasas, Bhutaganas, Uragas, Pashus, Pitas, Siddhas, Vidyadharas, Charanas, and all other different varieties of living entities, including the birds, beasts, trees, and everything that be, are all covered by the universal form of the Lord at all times, namely past, present and future, although he is transcendental to all of them, eternally existing in a form not exceeding 9 inches. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, by a partial representation measuring not more than 9 inches, as supersoul expands by his potential energy in the shape of the universal form, which includes everything manifested in different varieties of organic and inorganic materials. The manifested varieties of the universe are therefore not different from the Lord, just as the golden ornaments of different shapes and forms are not different from the original stock reserve of gold. In other words, the Lord is the Supreme Person who controls everything within the creation, and He still remains the supreme separate identity, distinct from all manifested material creation. In the Bhagavad Gita 9.45, He is therefore said to be Yogeshwara. Everything rests on the potency of Lord Sri Krishna, and still the Lord is different from and transcendental to all such identities. In the Vedic Purusa-Sukta of the Rig Mantra, this is also confirmed. This philosophical truth of oneness and difference simultaneously was propounded by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it is known as Asintya Bheda Bhed Tattva. Brahma, Narad and all others are simultaneously one with the Lord and different from the Supreme Lord. We are all one with Him, just as the gold ornaments are one in quality with the stock gold, but the individual gold ornament is never equal in quantity with the stock gold. The stock gold is never exhausted even if there are innumerable ornaments emanating from the stock, because the stock is Purnam, complete. Even if Purnam is deducted from the Purnam, still the Supreme Purnam remains the same Purnam. This fact is inconceivable to our present imperfect senses. Lord Chaitanya therefore defined his theory of philosophy as Asintya, inconceivable, and as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita as well as in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Chaitanya's theory of Asintya Bheda Bhed Tattva is the perfect philosophy of the absolute truth. Hare Krishna.